Hi, we're Lisa and Angie. Welcome to another episode of Pep Talks and Prosecco.
If you like what you see and hear, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and share with your friends and family. We are all about building community.
Cheers!
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 Oh, wow. I don't know. I mean, I do know. Last week, we aired for you part one of our interview with Cecile, and you guys let us know loud and clear that you want more Cecile, so we're going to deliver.
Absolutely. She's so amazing that we couldn't fit an interview into one episode. So here we are back for part two with Cecile. She's so much fun. You're just going to love it. There's so much great inspiration that she shares with us, and the wind up before we wind things down is, well, it's inspirational too. So grab your favorite beverage. We love Prosecco. Sit back and enjoy Pep Talks and Prosecco.
Cheers.
During your feature, you chatted about imposter syndrome. And I know myself, I really identified with that section of your feature. And I know Angie and I have talked about this, not just recently, but throughout our entire lives. We have experienced imposter syndrome, and we know that many people in our community have as well. We know you're beloved in the communities that you serve and you're educating, but you still experience that imposter syndrome sometimes. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how you're trying to overcome that feeling of less than?
Mm-hmm. I think the imposter syndrome is such a sneaky little voice that just speaks to you all the time. Exactly. And especially it's unfortunate because it's especially when you have like highlights in your life, that's when that voice is going to come to you and say, really? Really? As if you don't deserve where you are in life, as if you shouldn't be, you are lying to everybody and they're about to figure out that what you've been saying all this time is all false and that really you're a loser behind it. And so I constantly have that voice that kind of talks to me, and I have to learn, and this is an exercise that I have to do all the time. I have to learn to shut it down. And by doing that, I actually say out loud, no, I'm a queen. I have to
love that.
keep my head up high, and I have to wear my crown. And I always say that to my friends whenever they start showing signs of imposter syndrome. I always say, no. You're a queen. Stop that. Remember who you are. Remember where you stand. And it's an exercise that I do to myself. And I have to, even if I have to do that in front of a mirror, to look myself in the eye and remind myself where I've been, what I've been through, that I deserve what I have, that I'm not an imposter, that I have accomplished things. And you know what? I deserve to be happy. Then you know what? That's great. And I'm also a strong believer. I believe in God, and I've been praying since I was a kid. And I have this relationship, and I'm like, well, I know God says that I'm great. So am I telling God that, you know what, God, you lied? Remember when you said that I'm like perfect the way I am? Remember when you said that I'm wonderfully made? And then really I'm looking at my jiggles, and that's not good enough. I'm looking at my accomplishments in life, and I'm not exactly where I wanted to be when I was thinking about it when I was 15. And that means I'm a failure? No, that's not what you say. So you are not a liar. I will not make you a liar. Therefore, I will shut that down right now. And I have to remind myself every day, because it's not an exercise that happens and then after that you're great forever for the rest of your life. That's not how it works. Because not only will you have your voice in your head, you will have society that will tell you things that
yes
how you should be, where you should be, and how you should talk, how you should act, and you need to shut that down, because you have to be you. You have to be Angie, you have to be Lisa, I have to be Cecile, and I have my own journey to walk And I don't need to look at other people to figure out what I want to be based on who they are. This is my journey. They don't have the past. I don't have theirs. And otherwise, it would be a boring world if we were all so the same and everyone is going through the same things the same way. We have to remember how we're not just, there's absolutely no one like us. That's what makes us queens. That's what makes us so special. And we have to remember that we are one in the world. And that's amazing. That's amazing. That's how special we are. We have to own it.
All right, Cecile. So one of the things that we really are working hard to establish with our community is building foundational habits. And we know from our Extraordinary People campaign that you spoke to us about some of the habits that have really been foundational for you and have propelled you into a position where you can experience the success and really have these opportunities for personal growth and personal development, and how that's really spread to not just for you, but others that are part of your community as well. And we're really hoping that you would spend some time today talking with us and sharing with our community about the habits that are instrumental for you.
Well, I had to learn those habits by making mistakes. And eventually you build those habits and you're like, you know what, this is what works for me. I would say the main habit for me, as I said earlier, is that like I have to turn back to prayer. And for some people, it could be meditation, it could be whatever, but it's really important to recenter yourself outside of work, and just go back to you. And I do that through prayer, and it's important for me to do it. I always have a dance party every morning when I get ready. You too, Angie? This is amazing.
You have it coming your way. I can feel it.
I have a dance party every morning. I blast the music and dance. I dance. Doesn't matter if you know how to dance or not. Just dance. Have fun with it. And then you cannot not be happy after that. I also sing in the shower, but that's another thing. I sing in the shower, I dance, and then you can't not be happy after that. You cannot be in a bad mood, and it's just, you're just happy after that. So make sure I pray. I make sure I sing in the shower. I get out of the shower. I have my dance party. And then after that, it's like I talk to myself in the mirror, and that's when I have those positive affirmations that, you know what, you got this, you know what to do, you're gonna make it, this is gonna be a great day, and then you go on with your day. And this is something that I have to do daily, absolutely daily, to be able to kind of put my mind in the right place. And especially when I don't feel like doing it. When you don't feel like doing it, that's when you really have to kick yourself in the butt and do it, because that means that your mind is not in the right place, and you have to kind of just flick it back to where it's supposed to be. And so, yeah, so I do that. And at the same time, make sure that I do believe in therapy. So I have a therapist, and I do talk to a therapist. So that's important. And it's important to talk to friends as well. So I follow that every day. It's my little routine. In the long term, you have a therapist, you talk to your friends and the people that are close to you. And then you'll see like how your heart just becomes bigger, more comfortable. And usually we think that things are in our heads and that we're crazy for thinking some way. And then when you share it with someone you know, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, you're also like that. You also went through that. You also went, oh, well, I cannot be that insane after all. It's fine. So it all works out eventually. And that's important to remember, that it all works out. So yeah.
I love that.
Cecile, where have you been all
Right?
of our lives?
Right? I am
Oh my
totally
goodness.
implementing the dance party into my morning routine. I thought I had a pretty good morning routine. It was lacking. That dance party is being integrated starting tomorrow morning. I promise you. My husband will be coming.
I've been dancing for a while, and she didn't start doing it because I was doing it. You were like a total influencer because now she's like, oh, dance train.
I'm going to be some of your playlists.
Oh, amazing. Oh.
It's so much fun. You should try it. So much fun.
Okay, we're going to have a little bit of fun with you now.
Right.
Cecile. We like to do a little thing at the end of our interviews with our people that we bring on Pep Talks and Prosecco. A little thing we call wind them up before we wind things down. So we have 10 questions for you that we're hoping you'll be able to answer in under 1 minute. Angie's getting her little timer ready for us right now.
My timer. But that's okay. We're good.
So we'll ask the questions. You just answer them, whatever comes to mind, and we'll see how well you do.
It's going to be awkward, but fun. We're going to laugh.
Do you need a sip of Prosecco before we get started?
Let's do this.
All right. I'll have one with you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, are we ready?
Cecile?
Yes.
Oh, don't
Let's do this.
Lisa. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Okay, so we're filming this on Saskatchewan Day, so tell us your favorite thing about Saskatchewan.
The sky. It's beautiful.
Favorite movie?
Prometheus. I love horror movies.
Oh my gosh. What advice would you give your teenage self?
Love yourself.
One. Bucket list destination?
South Africa.
Yes. What brings you joy?
Bringing joy.
I love that. Your favorite song?
You Are God Alone. It's a gospel song by Marvin Sapp.
Pet peeve?
Disrespect.
Mm-hmm. What is a bad habit that you just can't shake?
Sugar.
Your favorite habit that you can't live without?
I'm sorry?
Your favorite habit that you can't live without?
Actually, hugging.
Oh.
It's probably the worst time to say that. It's COVID.
And who inspires you?
My parents. So much.
Love that. Way to go. How'd she do?
Cecile, you so were over a minute.
Yeah.
But it was every 22 seconds that you were over that minute. I was not stopping.
No, I'm glad. Cecile,
Oh my gosh.
thank you so much for taking time out of your day off. It's a holiday here, as we just mentioned, and spending some time with us in our community. As we said, we just find you so inspirational, and you were so well received in our community when we featured your Extraordinary People piece. And we just hope that you'll continue to chat with us and visit with us. And I know that our community is going to want a whole bunch more of you. So thank you so much for spending
Thank you.
time with
Thank
us
you for
today.
having me. It's such an honor. And I mean, I hope I get to see more of you guys. You're doing such a great job. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
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 Wow.
Honestly.
I don't know if I've ever been speechless, but I'm pretty close to being speechless. I just loved how Cecile shared with us her sense of responsibility in building and contributing to community.
Mm-hmm.
That whole piece was just such a highlight for me.
Absolutely.
In the interview that we had with her. How about for you, Lisa?
Oh, for sure. I mean, her talk about imposter syndrome, as I say in the interview, is something that I know many of us can identify with. And when she talks about putting on her crown because she's a queen, I mean, come on. I love that. And I have to tell you that since we aired this interview, or since we interviewed Cecile, I've started implementing a dance routine into my morning routine, and I love it. I absolutely love it. You can't help but be in an amazing mood when you leave the house after you've had a little dance party in your bathroom. So I highly recommend trying it. And if you need some advice on great music for a dance party, talk to my friend Angie. She has some amazing playlists.
There we go. We know for a fact that you will be just as inspired as we have been from the amazing Cecile. Thanks for tuning in, and we can't wait to see you next week.